Hello everyone. In this video I want to show you something interesting, something that might help you also save some money if you have a 3D printer at home. And let's say you are not the most basically technical person when it comes to computer aided design, but you have a 3D printer at home, and it could be a $200-300 3D printer that can do only one plastic or a few plastics but one color, or it can have a basically bamboo lab printer that is like $700 and it has four different spools that can get in. It has the head and you can have multicolor prints. Okay, so if you want to create the 3D model of some object and print it, and all you have is a single picture like this, right? So let's say you want to make this Mickey Mouse or anything like that, and all you have is a picture. Can you take that single picture and without doing any CAD to reproduce the CAD model of this? Because producing CAD models of shapes like this that are kind of a little bit organic takes quite a bit of time. And in my videos under playlist Fusion 360, a little bit CATIA or SolidWorks, I showed kind of how to get started on them, but it takes a lot of time. And if you want like 5 pictures like that, 5 figurines like that, it is going to take quite a bit of a time. So you might just as well go ahead and, I don't know, pay $22-23 with tax, $23-4, and buy it instead of spending hours on CAD modeling these. So is there a direct way to go directly from a picture to a CAD model without modeling? The answer is yes. I'm not sure if you have seen or not, but there are a few options out there now that they can convert a picture directly into a CAD model. And one of them that I want to focus on today is this one called Meshy.AI. It's really good, and here I'm just using the free trial, which is only for 7 days. And all I needed was this picture. Okay, so I just got this picture and I signed up, which is for free. You can sign up with your email or anything, and I uploaded my picture directly from here, right? So you go and put any picture that you want there, and then simply say generate. That's all you need to do. Image generate, and as soon as it does it, then guess what? It gives you, after a few seconds, maybe up to a minute, depending on how complicated the part is, it can give you some mesh models, right? So here, look, this is a mesh model. Of course, this is not smooth. This is a lot smoother, and you can zoom in and you can look at it. Look how beautiful it is, right? And actually, that is very close to the actual parts. I would say it's very, very close, except maybe the head is not tilted like this, but who cares, right? All you care about is you get this, and guess what? You can always go to a software like Fusion or anything, and you can modify the mesh. So here I downloaded the STL file. Let me show you. So if I go back here, once it generates, you can pick any of them. And not only it gives you the mesh file, if you want, each one of them, if you click on it, right, it has an option that it can basically give that one to you with texture. So this one is with no texture, but if you say texture and confirm, guess what? Now it is going to give you this one. Look at that. So now you have the object with texture. Beautiful, huh? So it takes the color from the image and put the texture and the color on it. Amazing. And guess what? You can simply download it. Once you click on download, it gives you all sorts of different formats. And if you don't like the initial size of it, you can activate this option and say, hey, resize it. I don't want this guy to be 10 meters. I want it to maybe 10 centimeters, right? So I just want this guy to be 10 centimeters, resize it, and you can put the bottom of it at the bottom plane or center it or anything. And there are different file formats that you can basically extract. STL is the one that you commonly use for 3D printing, but if you want to get other formats for other type of applications besides 3D printing, you can get OBJ, you can get Blend, 3MF, and some of them do already have some texture. And guess what? As I said, you can open this mesh file now. So you can open it here in Fusion 360. And look, that's your mesh file. It's actually quite a bit of a fine mesh. And remember, you can always go under mesh here and you can start manipulating the mesh, clean it up, improve it, smoothen it, do whatever you want, remove something, right? But you see that the mesh is actually a relative good mesh. So all I did was this picture. Just downloaded it from any website, Google, Amazon, whatever that you want, and ask Meshy.AI to convert it for you into this solid mesh and export it. I initially started with a picture myself. So all I did was I drew some simple picture on Paint, and then I asked it to convert it for me into a solid model. Let me show you. Here we go. So I just used some primitive tools in Paint and used my pen on my laptop and drew something. And guess what? I made this picture and filled it and so on. Yeah, you can clearly see this is my drawing. I'm not really super artistic, but I made like this person doing a flying kick or something, right? And then I went to this Meshy.AI and uploaded the picture and asked it to create a CAD model for me, a STL, not a CAD model, basically a mesh file. And it did. And then I also asked it to give me texture. And here we go. Now, of course, my picture to begin with was not an amazing picture. The mouth, the eyes, they were not super great. But look here. You see that if I export this and bring it into Fusion and do a little bit cleaning on it, guess what? I have this. So now if I wanted to, I can 3D print this one. I can just take it to Prusa and like this one here. That's the Mickey Mouse file that I scaled down, and then I basically sliced it, and I'm gonna show you the final results that I printed it and painted it myself, hand painted it, because my printer is not a multicolor. But if you have a Bamboo or a Prusa with multi-head or any other printer that has this multi-material heads, guess what? You are in the business. So now you can make a toy that is not in the market, or you can have your kid do the same thing, right? Ask your kid to create a painting like this in Paint or any other simple software and add more details to it. Okay, make it a little bit nicer, give it some better texture and so on. And guess what? Bring it into this Meshy and it will create a CAD model. You don't need to be expert in any CAD. And now if you want to make it better, yes, you need to be good and you need to know how to manipulate the mesh file in a software like this. But if the result that it returns is good enough for you, then all you need is to put it to printer and print it. So you see, you can, as I always say, if you know CAD and 3D printing, you are a mini factory. Now with results with AI tools like this, picture to 3D, I have to rephrase myself and say, hey, you don't even need to know CAD. If you have access to one of these AI tools and a 3D printer, you can actually have your own business and you can start creating beautiful toys with organic shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this Mickey Mouse that I printed and painted. This one, of course, it's not like super amazing. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like great. But and of course, when you print it, because it needs lots of support structure, it's not gonna be the greatest. But guess what? You can definitely go from pictures to CAD models now with tools like this. Now, before I show you my final print of Mickey Mouse that I painted myself, let me show you some extra tools that this Meshy has, and I really enjoyed working with this. So this is your model. This is where you upload your image. This is your model. Now, if your model that you pick is not really smooth like these, especially this one, you can go to remesh and basically grab something and basically you can ask for a remesh. Okay, so here I can go ahead and pick anything and I say what kind of model is it that I want, right? So let's see, Was it this one? Yeah. So here I pick the one that is generated and I can ask for remesh. And instead of triangles that you saw I showed you in Fusion, I can ask for quad elements. And instead of the number of polygons that you created, in this case triangles, you can either provide a number. So here, like it was with 10K, I can ask for a lot more, or I can ask it to do adaptive. So right now, this one was generated with medium number of, or medium mesh smoothness, basically. But you can ask it for high or ultra and get it much, much smoother, or much more basically elements. So if you want to manipulate it later, it is going to be a lot easier. Okay, of course, at the cost of a much bigger file. So you can clearly remesh the file, you can retexture the file, okay, right? And there is text input. So for instance, here you can provide some text for retexturing it, or you can ask it to just go based on the colors in the image, right? So if you don't want, for instance, these gloves to be white, you can ask for another color or something, right? So let's see, for instance, if I say make the gloves, I don't know, just green, okay? Let's see if it does make the gloves green, okay, just based on the prompt that you gave it. And then we have stylize and animate, and these are great options too. So here you see it is working on it and trying to, based on this prompt that you gave it, it is trying to retexture it. So let's wait, see what happens. Now, not always it is really smart. So you see, I asked it for the gloves to go green. It literally made the rest of it all green. Okay, so it kind of not always the best, but to me, the best one is clearly based on the image itself. So if you want something changed, change the image. And then you can go stylize it. So you can basically have it as a sculpture or a PBR. But the one that captured my attention the most was this animate. I really love this. So here you pick a model like that, and then you ask it to do one of these motions, right? So do a squat, or I don't know, a 360 power spin, anything, all night dance, all of these motions, right? So you pick one of them, but first it says rig first. And by rig here, it is asking you to put the joints and tell it where the joints are, where is the plane, the mid plane of the object. So place it properly, and then basically tell it the location of the joints, and then it will actually animate it. And here is the result of one. Look. Now clearly you see here, because the hand is on the pants, you see that when the hand is moving, that portion of the pants that is attached to the hand also kind of stretched with it. Okay, but if the hands were separate in the picture, I had no doubt that this pant will not be affected by the walking. But look, clearly this is one, right? So let's say, for instance, I want another one. Let me show you that. I don't know. So let's say you want something like this attack. I don't know if it does it or not, right? Or any of these other ones. So when you get this and go for that motion, as I showed you, the first thing it says, or this one actually, when you do that, it says rig it, right? So if I go for this, and first it says rig, and here you have to pick an example. So if it's an animal, a quadruped dog, right, with 4 legs, or a humanoid, so I guess this is more similar to a humanoid, and then I go forward, and then here you can rotate the model, offset the model, change the height of the model to match basically this height of a human being. So here I already moved it with this offset and brought it kind of to the center like this. And I said, okay, I guess this is good. Now you go forward, and here it asks you to put on the main joints of the object the locations of these letters. And if the part is not symmetric like this, uncheck this option of symmetry. So now you can bring your chin and, for instance, put it there, right? And then bring the shoulders and put them like right there, and then the elbows, and then the wrists, right? And once you have those, then you need this one to go in the joint in the waist. Then you need the knees, and then you need the ankles, right? And confirm that, and then it starts creating the animation. Okay, so as I said, this is really impressive to me. Now I printed this Mickey Mouse. I used a smaller scale than the one that I exported, so it was like 5 centimeters total height. And of course, since some parts of the STL were very thin, the print did not turn out really good. So I just show you a picture of it, but and I painted it. I did not really. Um, you see, my paint is all over the place. It's not good, and it is not really that great. But I mean, like for my painting skills and for this small figurine and my painting tools, this is probably the best I could get. The best is to use a multi material print head and have the print already be multicolor instead of you grabbing some paint. Okay. But yes, guess what? You can have some toy like this. And it just took me 1 hour from the time I started getting the picture to the time I made the STL to the time I put it in printer, bring it out, and then maybe a few minutes painting it. So, and I could do that very fast. Now, if it's a bigger size, of course, a little bit more print time, but the good thing is it's only less than $1 for the cost of plastic. Okay, while you have to pay 20 something dollars for like two, three of these. So hopefully this was useful to you, and you saw how you can go from a picture to a CAD model without any CAD skills, really, to a STL file without any CAD skills. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.